What is up, guys? This is going to be round 4 of the last tournament. We're going to be playing off against TG Stun versus using the Rob the Man's Destiny Hero Plant deck list. So, yeah, we roll who gets to go first, and he rolls a 3, and then I roll a 7. So, off the bat, I'm going to be able to go first against this matchup, which is really good for me because I don't want to be walking into 3 back rows with this particular build. Because I don't want to walk into 3 back rows summoning into a skill drain, for example. So I'm probably going to summon the tour guide here, but most likely, by the looks of it, I do have the Foolish Burial along with the Lone Fire. So I'm going to be discarding the Dandelion off the graveyard, and then normal summoning the Lone Fire, and then ending on a. I'm going to be ending on a play where I summon the. So I summon the Lone Fire here. I'm going to use the effect of Lone Fire to tribute off the token, and then the token's going to go into I believe it's going to be no, I tribute off the Lone Fire itself. So tributing the Lone Fire itself can get me a Spore, and then I can synchro the Spore into a formula. So lots of plays I could do here. I don't really know the plant combos too well, but this is good enough for me where if I go into the Spore here, I can synchro the Spore and the token into a formula synchron. And then this formula synchron is going to allow me to draw a card, and I can banish the Lone Fire out of the graveyard, and then synchro summon into a Teacher Hyper Librarian. This play is pretty good because now he has to sort of like summon a monster to run over the formula synchron in the main phase before the main phase starts. And then, so if he doesn't do that, then I can just go for, Black Rose and blow up the field. So, fully intending on doing this. The Maxi is pretty useless here as he just activated Duality. So he's not going to be able to special summon this turn. So I'm going to have to use the Maxi on a later turn or use it as a non-tuner if I want to use that play. But most likely the next turn, I'm going to be normal summoning the Destiny Diamond Dude. So he does the play where he goes into the Rush Rhino, and he's going to attack with the Formula Synchron. So good play there so that he doesn't have to deal with the Black Rose in the main phase. So he's going to Dust Shoot here, and he's going to choose, I believe he's going to choose the Tour Guide or the Destiny Diamond Dude. The Diamond Dude would make it so that I would have a monster that doesn't really do anything. So I have to play around the Horn of the Phantom Beast here. I could summon a monster into a Torrential, but it doesn't feel too good, so I'm going to go straight into battle phase. And even if he does activate the Horn of the Phantom Beast, it's going to trade with the Hyper Librarian, so it's going to be a 2 for, or 1 for 1 because the Rhino floats here. So I'm going to go with normal summon the tour guide. Not really concerned about the torrential because I can go into a Sangan if he torrentials here. That's fine with me because the Sangan is going to be able to get me a card. So not sure if I want to go into battle phase right away or if I want to Xyz first. If I Xyz, then I walk into a bottomless or a warning. But if I also Xyz, then I walk into a torrential. So the torrential is probably the worst one out of the outcomes. So I go for the play where I can crash into the Hyper Librarian, but it doesn't really happen, and I attack directly for 1,000. So not entirely sure what he has set now at this point in time. If it was, I haven't logically deduced that it wasn't a Horn of the Phantom Beast because Horn of the Phantom Beast can come down on the Rhino, but it only matches with the TJ Hyper Librarian, and it's not going to be a +1. So it could still be a Horn of the Phantom Beast. So I'm not entirely sure what he can do here. So now I'm going to overlay here into Leviathan Dragon or a Levier to get my Lone Fire back. So I think that's what I do here. I go priority on the effect to get the Lone Fire, and let's see what happens here. So he's going to activate the Bottomless in response, and then I'm going to get the Lone Fire here in defense position. I could use the effect of Lone Fire to get Globe Bulb, but the Lone Fire has a better defense than the Globe Bulb, but the Globe Bulb is a +1, so I think I go for the play here. So I tribute the Lone Fire here, and then I'm going to go into the Globe Bulb in defense position here. So this way, even if he attacks over the Globe Bulb can just use his effect to mill itself and then get a card. So I do have the warning set. I'm going to set the warning so that if he does summon a monster, I can just ward off the summon here. I also have the option here to set the Dark Hole with the warning so that if he has a MST set, then he's going to have to guess which one it is. But yeah, this doesn't play around the Storm. So I think I just set, yeah, I do set 2 to mask the MST. So I remind my opponent to get the search because typically if I'm trying to test a deck, I typically don't want the opponent to be at a disadvantage because they forgot. So I remind them anyways, just because I want to have the best fight there is. So he's gonna special summon the striker here, and now he's gonna probably go into battle phase, attack over the glow bulb, and then the glow bulb's gonna sit there. Now he's gonna Sangro summon into a level 6. The Orient Dragon's gonna be a mandatory effect if he does bring that out, and then so I'm gonna be able to get my draw off the summon, and then I'm gonna draw off the Dark Bribe because he warning, he Dark Bribe my warning. So the Orange Dragon's gonna get rid of the Teacher Hyper Librarian, but that's fine because it pretty much recovers itself. I do have a Glow Bulb in the graveyard, and look at my hand here. I'm not sure if I have 3 Darks, so most likely if I don't have the 3 Darks, I can normal summon the Debris and then go into a Black Rose play here if I want. Or I can just flip the Dark Hole and then just get rid of the Orient Dragon. Normal summon the Diamond Dude. Use the effect of Diamond Dude here. I'm going to miss by hitting the Malicious. And then I'm going to Sacred Summon into a Catastrophe here to run over the Orient Dragon. And if this Catastrophe doesn't go through, I always have the Dark Hole as a contingency plan. Looking at my graveyard here, I do have a Destiny Diamond Dude, a Sangan, and a Tour Guide. So it looks like Dark Arm is live here. So I'm gonna shotgun the Dark Arm here, and then I'm gonna use priority here to destroy the back row. And it's a Horn of the Phantom Beast, so I was right that it was a Horn of the Phantom Beast when he previously had 2 set. He just didn't want to use it on the Rhino on the Teacher Hyper Librarian. I don't know if I agree with holding the Horn of the Phantom Beast to for a later turn. Maybe he wanted to summon the Barbaros if he had it in the main deck, and then run over the Catastor, or run over the Hyper Librarian, and then get a draw off the Horn of the Phantom Beast. But that's kind of like contingent on a draw. So in the future, if he had used the Horn of the Phantom Beast or in the past, if he had used Horn of the Phantom Beast on the Rhino, the Rhino would have been at 2400 attack, and then it would have been a 1-for-1 because the Horn of the Phantom Beast trades with the Teacher Hyper Librarian. Because leaving the Teacher Hyper Librarian out there means that by Synchro Summoning into an Orient Dragon, I was able to get a draw off the Orient Dragon's Synchro Summon, and then it replaced itself essentially. So, so definitely Horn of the Phantom Beast should have been played there on the Teacher Hyper Librarian. So I have the option here to either go into battle phase to attack with the Dark Arm and then attack into a potential Gores. And I know that TG doesn't play Gores, but it's always safe to assume that Gores is in someone's hand, even if they don't really play it in their main deck. Just because some people might side it or just main deck it. So I do the play where I play around the Gores token. So by attacking with the Catastor directly, even if he does drop a Gores here, the Dark Arm can clear the Gores as well as the token. So it leaves my Catastor alive. So he activates Duality. I don't think he saw anything, so he scoops the game 1. So now we're going to go into game 2 here. Looking at my side deck, I do have the Forbidden Lances, which is really good because if they trip flip Horn of the Phantom Beast, I can just use it on the monster that the Horn of the Phantom Beast is equipped to, and it won't gain the attack modulation, and it will also lose 800 attack. So that allows me to run over any of the TG monsters in the damage step, which is why I side it. I also side more MSTs because I want to hit skill drains as well as warnings or any trap cards essentially, so that my monster summons go through. And I want to side out all the combo cards that this deck pretty much relies on, cards that rely on other cards in order to bring them out. So I think Dark Arm was one of my choices. I think no, I took out Malicious. Okay. So I find out like in this game that taking out Malicious was actually kind of bad because without Malicious, I can't really go into my level 8 Synchros. And even though Malicious it is a Synchro card, even though Malicious is a combo card, I find that leaving the Malicious in, even though it is a combo card, was the correct play. But in generality, you want to take out your combo cards and side in all your cards that can deal with back rows. So he dualities here, and I think most likely he's going to get the Thunder King Ryo if he already doesn't have it, because Thunder King Ryo can wall off a lot of the moves that I can make. So let's see what happens here. Looks like he's contemplating on getting that Thunder King Ryo, and he does get it, and he's going to shuffle all the way his hand. Thunder King Ryo comes down, and he's probably going to set some back rows here. I do have the Heavy Storm. I'm going to shotgun it because I don't really care about for 2 set. because I really can't do anything to his board. I could set the Snowmater to deal with the Thunder King Ryo, but I don't want him to like summon a. Um, let's see. So I didn't want him to summon a or draw into a skill drain. No, let me see. Yeah, so I do this play here because I want to take out the Thunder King. I could set the Snowmater because I could set the Snowmater. I just don't want him to summon a Rush Rhino Warrior and run over the Snowmater, and then I kind of like get a 1-for-1 trade with the Thunder King. So maybe I should have done that, but the Leviathan Dragon sounds a little better because now I have the 2 darks in the graveyard, and I don't really want to draw into the Sangan. So he summons a blind Rhino here, so it feels pretty bad here. Um, he did have the Rhino Warrior, so maybe I should have set the yeah, I should have set the Snowmander, and then if he attacks with the Rhino, I can just deal with the Thunder King. So, and then here, if I had the tour guide, I would have been able to run over the TG Rush Rhino. So yeah, but at least I have a second tour guide. So the second tour guide is gonna get the second tour guide, and then I'm gonna be able to make a Leviair because it has 1800 attack, and I can run over that Rhino. I'm gonna set the Lance here, and so if he does make a monster that's bigger than Leviair, and the damage step, I can deal with it. So let's see what he does here. He's going to Master Reborn here. He's going to bring out the Thunder King Ryo. And then I pretty much wait for him to do the next move. Now he's going to attack with the Thunder King Ryo. I'm going to Lance in the damage step. And even if he does, so this makes it so that his Horn of the Phantom Beast is safe. So if I do attack again, might get a +2 here. So let's see what I do here. I do have the option here to summon the Greffer, discard the Plague Spreader Zombie. However, I did side out the Malicious, so the Malicious is not going to be a good. I mean, the Greffer doesn't feel like a good play anyway. So here I can go into the battle phase, attack, get the Horn of the Phantom Beast, give him a +2, and then set the Snowmater. I think that's the correct play here. Because if I summon into a Torrential, it's going to feel really bad because, especially if I call priority with the Greffer, I'm going to lose like 3 cards to his 1. So I don't want to give him a 3-for-1. I'd rather give him a 2-for-1 as opposed to with the Horn of the Phantom Beast. So if this attack doesn't go through, my contingency plan is going to be the Snowmater as opposed to normal summon the Greffer. Let's see what happens here. So I go into the battle phase, and then the Horn of the Phantom Beast comes down. He gets +2. Now I'm going to set the Snowmater or summon the Greffer, which is surprising. The Greffer, I don't really see this as a point of doing anything. Dumping any dark doesn't feel too good here. And I do forget that I took out the Malicious. So now I'm forced to kind of like send the Dark Arm. And then now I'm going to have to make a Synchro play. So this was a really bad play on my part to Synchro Summon because the Orient Dragon doesn't really do anything in this situation. Because he can summon... what can he summon the next turn? I guess the Orient Dragon is bigger than all his monsters, unless he has a skill drain. But he hasn't been drawing spells and traps, so he has to kind of like find another way. And he does have the Book of Moon here, so I guess he does have an out. But if I had set the Snowmater, this would have been able to deal with the monsters. So now I set it with this. I set the Snowmater, and now I'm going to clear the TG Werewolf. We get into. I think we settle that the Horn of the Phantom Beast has to send the monster to the graveyard in order for him to get a draw. So I feel pretty safe. I feel fine letting the Horn of the Phantom Beast not be able to resolve here. Even though he's getting a search at the end phase, I don't really mind. So I summon Straddles here after the Rhoda. He skill drains because he draws into it. And he's going to go into the second Reborn Tengu. So now he can summon the Caius the next turn. Oh, no, they don't play Caius in deck. Yeah, so he can Synchro Summon into a level 6 Synchro. Get the last Tengu, and then run over my guy. So pretty much on the back foot here. I'll Guide the Force of the Earth, makes it so that he wins games too. Okay, so some misplays. Maybe not summoning the Greffer, maybe not taking out the Malicious was the plan here. If I did have the Malicious here, I would have gone into either a... well, if I go into Dark End, I can send the Werewolf, and he wouldn't be able to get a plus. He wouldn't be able to get the Werewolf search because it has to be destroyed. That's one thing I could have done if I had kept the Malicious in my deck. And then My Dark End would have been at 2100 attack. So if he summons Tengu in the next turn and he activates the Book of Moon doesn't really clear the Dark End because Book of Moon would reset the stats. So I put the Malicious back in most likely because I want to do going first plays. I draw a hand of Destiny Hero, Diamond Dude. I'm going to summon the Torghast here since I already have the Sangan in my hand. Maybe I should have special summoned Sangan from my hand as opposed to overlaying into this, but Leviathan Dragon is good no matter what. So I leave the play up for 25 beat stick. So now he has to summon a monster that's bigger than Leviathan Dragon. All his Thunder King Rows are pretty much kind of like not doing much except for being a tribute fodder. My guess is that he set a TG card that wants to be destroyed, and he's going to set 3 here. I don't have the Heavy Storm here, but most likely I'm going to go into battle phase to get rid of that monster. See if he has any battle tricks. Deep Prison would be good for him here. Let's see what happens. He's going to activate the Book of Moon on the attack declaration. Now I could set the Sangan, but this walks into a flip. If he flips the Thunder King Ryo and attacks my Sangan, that's going to feel pretty bad. But I think I do it anyways because Sangan doesn't really have any value in my hand. So I'm going to set the Sangan here, and let's see if he has a Thunder King Ryo. He does not, but he does normal summon it after. So him setting the Barbaros to the Leviathan Dragon here tells me that he doesn't have a skill drain set, because if he did have the skill drain set, he would have put the Barbaros to attack position and then let my Leviathan Dragon die. So now I'm kind of forced to Dark Hole here because now I'm on the back foot. Because now he has, I think he uses all his cards here. So I'm kind of forced to use the Dark Hole here. I could also Mind Control, but I don't have a tuner. I do have a tuner. I can Mind Control the Thunder King Ryo, summon the Plague, Synchro Farm, summon for 6. And likely he doesn't have a skill drain, so the 6 would be bigger than the Barbaros, but not with the Horn of the Phantom Beast. So my first line of play should be Mind Control, take the Thunder King Ryo, normal summon the Plague, Synchro Summon, or I could use Dark Hole right away. I think Dark Hole right away is the correct one. But instead I do the Diamond Dew play here. Okay, or I can go into Utopia. That's good too. The Utopia would make it so that the 2500 base would actually make it so that the Horn of the Phantom Beast would make him a 27. No, that's not good either. So I overlay anyways into the Utopia. Let's see what he does here. He's going to Warning. So Warning here tells me he might not have a Horn of the Phantom Beast after all. So make that deduction, and then so I have the play here where I can Dark Hole. But I'm going to wait for him to get another monster on board before I Dark Hole. Except for a TG, of course. So he's going to attack for 19 here, and then he's going to flip the Horn of the Phantom Beast. Okay, so that's surprising. So he had the Horn of the Phantom Beast anyways. If I had Utopia on board and he didn't Warning, and I declared the Utopia attack on the Barbaros would have been a 2700 attack. So I don't know if I agree with Warning the Utopia there. Wow, so I draw into a Heavy Storm here. I do have the choice here to slam the Heavy Storm here, but since he's been setting so many back rows, it's likely it's going to be either a Starlight Road, which is the worst outcome. If he does have a Solemn, it's not so bad. If he has a Dark Bribe, it's not so bad. So I do have I think I set the Snowman Eater here, as I was not doing much anyways. Nope, I Dark Hole. I Dark Hole here, so he doesn't activate Dark Bribe. I do have the chance of Heavy Storm, but here's the thing. If I do Heavy Storm here, I don't have a follow-up play, so it's not really a mandatory thing for me to Heavy Storm here. Even if he doesn't have like Starlight Road. Let's see what I do here. Yeah, so I set the Snowman Eater because I don't have a follow play. There is the possibility that he might draw into a Starlight Road, so I think I take that with a grain of salt here. So let's see what I do here. The Snowman Eater is not going to do here, nothing here. I could normal send the Plague Shredder, but that doesn't do anything either. I think I set the MST here and pass. Yeah. So the MC is going to bait something out. He's going to attack into my Snowman Eater. I think I go damage. I think I go on attack declaration at MST blind, hoping to hit the Horn of the Phantom Beast. No, I don't. So, nope. Looks like he gets a +1 here by attacking over my Snowman Eater, which is a rare scenario. So he passes turn here. I do have the Heavy Storm still. I think I'm going to go blind MST, try to hit the Starlight Road of the Solemn. Hopefully I hit it. And it was a Mirror Force. Okay, so now I'm going to Heavy Storm here. and it was nothing. Wow. Okay, so really good bluffs on his part. Although setting 3 with no insurance feels kind of scary to me. So I don't know. I guess it was less likely for me to draw Heavy Storm than MST, so maybe that's why he sets 3. So I put the malicious back in. Remember, so now I send the plague. Now I'm going to top deck into a synchro monster. I could go into a Stardust that plays around the dark hole. If I don't go into the Stardust, the Dark End plays around the TG monsters. So he does have a Werewolf in hand, and he doesn't special summon it. And there's a good reason why he doesn't. I think because if he had special summoned the Werewolf and I attack over the Werewolf, he could search for a Rush Rhino Warrior, and the Rhino Warrior can run over the Greffer. So that doesn't seem too bad, right? So maybe he should have special summoned the Werewolf here. Um, Actually, if he did special summon the Werewolf, I probably would have went to Dark End to send the Werewolf to the graveyard as opposed to making a Stardust. Tough choice, really. So he's gonna duality here. He's gonna reveal 3, and then he reveals an MST, which doesn't really do much, and a bottomless that can deal with the Stardust can handle. So not much choices here. I don't have a back row, so that's probably why he doesn't choose the MST here. So Greffer here is here, and Dark Stardust is here. I'm gonna normal summon the Glow Bulb, and then synchro summon Greffer with the Glow Bulb to make a Hyper Librarian. Hyper Librarian wouldn't be too bad here. I also have Lethal on board too if I want to go to battle phase because Greffer and Glow Bulb is 1800 damage here. So I think I'll attack with Stardust here, and he just scoops. Okay, so I don't know what the other back row was. Maybe he did search for it before. I know that one of them is Bottomless Trap Hole. So yeah, with this deck I was able to go 3-1. So not too bad with Rob the Man's Tengu plant or Destiny Hero plant version of this, which is not too bad. So yeah, that's all the gameplay video for Tengu, and I'll try to get more in the future for any more of my net decking series. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.